Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. So quickly, I'll introduce myself. I am Rupinder Singh, and I'm working as a product manager at a new company. I've just joined that a couple of days back, so I will share that pretty soon. And before that, I was working as a product manager in Blackhawk Network. I have vast experience in product management, and I have done a couple of certifications related to product management and agile methodologies. Apart from my this professional experience, I have also done MBA and I am a bachelor's in engineer. So yeah, that was about my education. And it is my partner Anand here. He's a Scrum trainer, agile coach. Anand, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Thanks, Rupinder. So, friends, I'm a professional Scrum trainer with Scrum.org and more into the Scrum training and consulting engagements. And Rupinder, hand it over back to you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. So we'll quickly get started now. First of all, uh, do you guys have any idea about what artificial intelligence is? Anyone can give me one simple explanation, either in Hindi or English, whatever you guys like. So let's quickly, so that we can get started. Anyone is interested in sharing the idea or any logic or anything, any simple definition they know about artificial intelligence? Yep, I'll wait for someone to speak, please.
It's for helping you to ease your workload
Okay, and how does that happen? How can we ease our workload?
with the help of prompt
Okay,
AI.
okay. Yep, so Bhavik is correct. Artificial intelligence, basically, in simple words, is a tool that we can utilize to make our work more easier and we can get our move towards perfection. So, for example, I have to write one email, and let's say my English is not that good. I am just learning my English, but I can simply paste whatever I have written that piece of English letter. I can simply paste those sentences into the chat GPT or Claude or any tool that you want to use. You can simply paste them, and this basically any AI tool will create one good, perfect English sentence or summary for you. This is how artificial intelligence works. Now, first of all, we have to understand what are the generative AI basics basically. So, first of all, does anyone know the full form of chat GPT? Yep, you guys definitely you guys can use ChatGPT to know that full form, and then I can share if no one knows. Yep, so I'll give a couple of seconds for you guys to answer. What is the full form of ChatGPT? Anyone?
చౌకబార్ బెటర్ ఏ
Sorry,
అప్పక్క తమ్ముడు అలెడికి తెలియదురా
Sudarshan. Okay, maybe they. Okay, so I'll share the full form of ChatGPT. Basically, if you don't know, chat means we can talk with the system, right? So chat means in ChatGPT, chat means we can talk. Now G means generative. Generative means we can generate content out of that. Okay. In ChatGPT, chat means talk, G means generative, and for P means it is pre-trained kind of model that we have. Okay, and then any guesses for T? It should be very simple. What does the T stands for in ChatGPT? It is very common word that we have heard how this got invented basically. Sorry,
Is it called transformation?
it's not
Transformation?
it's not transformation, but it is called transformer. It is a kind of a neural network architecture on which this ChatGPT got built. So okay, so I'll quickly explain. Generative is the ability of any model to create content on its own. So we are not telling anything in the system that you have to write A after B or like C after D. Like we are not sharing any grammar, but we are getting content out of it in human language or any other form that we want. Even if you want to write code, then it can write on its own because that's what is called as generative. Okay, it will not choose any response from the list that is already with them, but they will try to build a new response. This is what generative means. Okay, and now pre-trained means like we mentioned in ChatGPT, G is for generative, means pre-trained. So these models have went through extensive training. That's why they are called as LLMs. Large language model means hundreds of terabytes of data has been provided to them, and then based on certain training that they had done, they had undergone through, That's how they are basically known as the pre-trained models. So basically, this means they can predict the next word in a sentence based on the previous word. This is basically called as the understanding the context of the sentence. For example, I write, I school go, right? I do that. And then I ask ChatGPT to or any other tool to that explain this in simple words. It will then simply correct your language and then then tell you the simple sentence that I go to school. That's it. So this is how these pre-trained models are trained like that. And then Transformer was the revolutionary kind of architecture that was built, and that's how these models came into existence. Because before that, we already saw there were chatbots, right? I've also written a very detailed LinkedIn post where I've mentioned the history of these AI models, how they got generated. So basically, it started from the very scratch, and then they got added into the kind of a chatbots where we were able to ask questions, and then we were able to get answers in the defined list only. We cannot talk with them basically like human beings. So this transformer was a revolutionary architecture that was built, and it was a significant development in the field of AI. It uses attention mechanism that allows us to better understand the context of words in a sentence that I already mentioned. Okay. So any questions till now? What is the full form of ChatGPT and what these words exactly mean? Okay, so I'll take silence as no. So now ChatGPT works on different types of things like their data is trained. Okay, there are tokens. Basically, you might have heard of the word tokens. So language is broken into smaller parts, and then these tokens is how these words are generated. Okay, so we will see them in detail in the upcoming sessions. Okay, now talking about these basics like what is machine learning, which is the second part of our conversation. Okay, so first of all, we learned about what are the generative AI basics, and then now what is machine learning? What are the types of AML? So basically, machine learning focuses on building systems that can learn from and make decisions on the predictions that on the data that is already provided to them. We basically don't have to explain them for any specific task. They can basically generate data or they can make decisions on their own and then share the data with us. Basically, talking with these systems is like entering some input into the system, and then we are going to get output. That output is known as the content that we see. Okay, for example, you say let make me a calendar for 30 days where I can post content on the YouTube, right? So you are pasting something into the system and you don't have any idea, but ChatGPT is going to help share that. You just have to define what topic you want to ask that data, right? So this is how machine learning actually works. And this machine learning is very old. It is like it is very old thing, and it was being used in different organizations where basically companies had their own data and they wanted to get insights out of it. Okay, when I was working in my internship in back in 2018, I had one of my friends selected in the machine learning program. Okay, and he was basically telling me that it's like we have gigabytes of data and then we don't know nothing to do about it, but when we train our system according to that, it basically starts generating outputs and insights out of it. Does anyone know what is the meaning of insight here? So what is the meaning of insight? Anyone want to try and guess? So there are no wrong answers, okay, because we all are learning together. It's nothing like you will be answering anything wrong and then something can happen. No. So we are all here to learn only. Yeah, please give it a try. What is the meaning of insight here? Yeah, you guys can spend like a couple of seconds to research on Google, ChatGPT, whatever you want, and then we can discuss. Yeah, take a couple of seconds to try it at least. Okay, I'm not seeing the chat. Okay, let me see. Okay, understanding of something. Okay. Yeah, anyone else? Okay, so insights mean basically you have all of your data with you, and now you want to generate something so that you can use that insight as a strategy to develop something out of it. Okay, yeah, guys, please keep yourself on mute if you are not speaking. Yeah, thank you. Yep. So Sunita, training given to machines and predict the output of trained data. So that is basically the output of these models. So insight means you have the data, but you don't know what to do with that. So this is what insight is called. Okay, so in product management, what we do is basically we have the data with us, and then we try to see what insights we can get out of it. Means what we can do of the data. Okay, so we have, let's say, 10 different categories of data, and then it's kind of like I'll take example of Zomato. So we have data for like 10 different drivers are basically our delivery partners, and then we will see how much time it is taking for them to deliver the order in minutes based on the traffic they have, based on the vehicle type they have, like whether it is a EV battery or like any kind of. So we can get insights out of it that EVs are most cheapest way to deliver the food, or diesel is or petrol is the most costliest way to deliver. This is what insights are called. Okay. Okay. Now, this machine learning basically helps to get insights out of it, because they can, like, it's a way to teach computers to perform tasks by learning patterns from data rather than relying on predefined instructions. Okay. Now, machine learning obviously is not a very simple thing. Now, what are the components of machine learning? For example, you want to do something on machine learning, right? Then what are its key components? Basically, machine learning will work, but what are the key components of it? So the number one is data. So all the language models, whatever you use these days, all the AI models, AI tools, whatever you're using, they are all based on data. Okay, these are zero without data. If data is not provided to them, they will not generate responses what is expected from them. Okay, so basically data is their foundation. Data is foundation of machine learning. Basically these systems learn from historical or real time data, so whatever is provided. I'll tell you one scenario. I was like going through some like online article and videos. I saw that chat gpt has okay, before I answer that, do you guys know which is the best Gen AI model? Gen AI model means ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. Do you know any guesses for which is the best? Uh, that can create content for us. Do you guys know any guesses for the tool? Okay, Copilot. Priya has mentioned Copilot. Anyone else?
Yeah, even I think Copilot.
Okay. 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 So in my personal experience, I have noted ChatGPT to be the best response generative. Why? Because there were some reasons why it happens with me. Like I have pasted one same prompt into these three, four different models, and then the responses that were generative, because I already had the knowledge of doing something, right? Now I'm going to do enter the same information in the system and then try to understand which best works for me, right? So I pasted three, four different prompts, and then I saw the results. So basically, Chat GPT was the best one that generated results for me. And the main reason behind that is I'll share one quick story around this, why ChatGPT is ahead of the race. So Microsoft has more data than ChatGPT, because all the organizations work on these applications, like all of the organizations work on that. Google also has more the data than any other platform in this world, because Google, everything we do is on go to Google and then try to search it. But still, why ChatGPT is winning the race? Okay, so now ChatGPT, when the model was being trained, it was very expensive to train it. They basically, I will learn this in the upcoming processes. Basically, ChatGPT, when outputs were getting generated, uh, OpenAI basically had their own kind of, basically they hired people from outside so that they can see what responses are getting generated after this. So basically they gave this model some rewards and penalties when wrong output was generated. And I think this took more than 1.5 year. I'm not sure about the exact timeline, but this took a lot of time, or maybe 2.5 years, to basically generate the best outputs. And that's why ChatGPT is ahead of the race, as per my understanding and knowledge. Okay. I mean, thoughts can vary, but as per my understanding, ChatGPT is winning the race in generating the responses for that. And this is the main reason ChatGPT's model has been trained in a way that they're already basically know what response I have to generate. So we'll learn this in upcoming like minutes. Okay. Now this was the idea key component about data, like which is the key component of machine learning. Now talking about algorithms, this is another key component of machine learning because this is how the outputs will be generated and our data would be interpreted. Okay, so for example, decision trees, neural networks, these are basically kind of technological terms. So you can go to Google or you can go to any of these platforms and then try to search the meaning of these. Okay, and then third number of machine learning, key component of machine learning is training. Okay, so if these models or these this data would not be trained, then there is no use of these models. Okay, so training is the process of teaching the algorithm by feeding the data and allowing it to adjust its parameters to minimize errors. And this is why ChatGPT wins there is because their errors are so less and they basically generate the best responses out of it. Okay, and then fourth number is model. Basically, this is the outcome of training. It is a system that can make predictions or decisions based on new data. For example, ChatGPT already has some data, right? And we are going to put new data into it. So this is how this model will be training itself based on the new data. Whatever it is coming, it can make predictions or decisions based on that. And then last component is evaluation and optimization. This is not a basically key component, but an important one too. But this means that assessing the model's performance on unseen data and then fine tuning it to improve the accuracy. Okay, so now any questions till now, what we've discussed in the generative AI basics and then machine learning and their types. Okay, types I'll come now, but till now, any key components of machine learning?
For training also, it has got self algorithms, so that it trains itself on that data.
Yes,
How,
yes.
how, yeah.
So your question is how it happens?
Yes, how it happens, sir, right.
Okay, so these answer, I'm not the correct person to answer because I have not done machine learning. Okay, I am not a AI scientist basically. So these people know how this data is trained basically. But I know in the vague term is for a layman language that in the existing data, basically the new data is input into the systems so that models can be trained out of it. Only this part I know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else? Okay, now we'll discuss what are the types of machine learning. Basically, there are three different types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and then reinforcement learning. The number one is supervised learning, where the algorithm learns from labeled data. Basically, input is given to them and output is given to them, basically. And then they basically try to understand how the output comes in. Okay. Basically, they are supervised learning. And then there is unsupervised learning. Basically, here the algorithm identifies patterns or structures on their own in the unlabeled data. Example of supervised learning is predicting house prices based on size, location, and other features. So let's take an example. Let's say I'm living in Koramangala, and I have basically know that what is the price where I'm living in Koramangala, and then there is someone living in the HRSL layout. So system already knows, right? Now this is example of supervised learning that you already know. But now talking about unsupervised learning, this is an example of customer segmentation based on purchasing behavior. Right now no one knows, like I went to any example we can take, like let's say I went to IKEA store, okay, to buy some furniture. Now there would be tens of people there, right, hundreds of people in that in one store. Okay, so now it's difficult for the system to understand. I paid 100 rupees for buying one table and the other person, because they don't have any age or their per user persona described. This would be example of unsupervised learning, that there is no context given around that. Okay, now third one is reinforced learning. Basically here the algorithm learns by interacting with an environment and receiving feedback means they know if I am generating one output, if that is correct, or basically my owner tells me that this is wrong. So basically rewards or penalties we call in this language term. Okay, so this is example of training a robot to walk, or we can tell AI how to play chess. So these are examples of reinforced learning, because they will learn when you do one step. Basically they can try to understand if that step is wrong or right, and then based on that we can get rewards or penalties on that. And then this is the system how ChatGPT models were trained. Whenever any output was generated, it was ranked based on the for example, they asked ChatGPT to generate 10 different outputs with using one prompt, or basically they put in one prompt and then one output was generated. They basically gave the rank of that output to be 5, and then they again answered, they basically again put in the same prompt, and then a new output was generated. Then they again gave some rating to that particular output. And this was how ChatGPT's model was trained. Basically, they have to reinforce that this output is not correct, this output is correct. Basically, they're telling the system that whenever you are doing the same thing in the future, then uh, basically generate these kind of responses based on rewards or penalties. Okay. Now coming to the next topic, which is our natural language processing. So this is where my interest started. Okay, so now natural language processing means talking with the system in the sense of a human, basically, right? So I cannot talk with the chat gpt or any other model in the form of tokens, right? So tokens are basically small, it is a minimum set of the language model in the form of data that is put into the systems. Okay, it is basically a branch of AI that focus on enabling computers to understand, interpret and generate human language that is meaning and useful. Okay, anyone wants to share any example of natural language processing? If you guys know this meaning, then can anyone share any example of natural language processing if you have ever seen it or used it? If you have used any model once, then you should know this one. Okay, so Nita says, is it the translation from text to audio or video and vice versa? Okay, telephone marketing. Okay, anyone else wants to try what is natural language processing or any example of that? Okay, so I shared this definition with you right now, a couple of seconds back, that I am talking with ChatGPT in the human language form. So this is simple example, right? ChatGPT, we're talking with ChatGPT. How we're talking with them? Basically, I'm trying to write or enter a prompt into the system, and then I'm getting output out of it, right? This is what natural language processing, and this is one biggest example that we use every day. We use different tools to generate that output, right? This is simple. Telephone marketing is also a good example, and then translation from text to word is also another good example. Yeah, these are very good examples that you guys have given. Yep. So what are the key goals of NLP first of all? So basically, the first number was in is understanding. So basically, we are teaching the machines to understand the meaning of the text or speech that we have input. Okay, and then translation, converting language to another form, such as translating between language or converting speech to text, right? Yeah, Alexa is also another example, good example. Yeah, and then generation. So this helps machines to produce human-like text or speech. Okay, so now everyone has their own way of writing a post, writing some content, right? Now, ChatGPT or these tools are good enough to understand the context out of it. You can give 10 different examples, 5 different examples of your blog or your LinkedIn post or whatever you have written. You can simply input those details into the system. It is going to understand how you write, what your writing nature is. Once you see it, once you try this mechanism, all the responses that would be generated after that would be based on your input only. This is how, like, these systems are very intelligent. Okay, now quickly I'll cover what are the components of NLP. Basically, number one is text processing. They are being going to break down in the text into small manageable units like sentences, words, or even smaller components. And the techniques are basically tokenization, stemming, or lamentization. So we can discuss these terms later. These are very big terms to explain. The next thing is syntax analysis, basically understanding the grammatical structure of a sentence. This is what the component of NLPs. And then semantic analysis. This is the interpreting meaning of words, phrases, or sentences. Example is identifying the sentiment of review. So you remember when we were in school, right? We used to get comprehension, and then if even if you're studying for your competitive exams, either MBA or any exams, you might have to see what is the tone of this passage, right? So this is what semantic analysis means. Like, it is a positive review, it is a negative sentiment, it is a like a root sentiment, whatever this is. Okay, so this is the component of natural language processing. Then another one is contextual understanding. It helps in recognizing the context to handle ambiguity and infer meaning. So let's say I write, I'll take different example now. I uh, play, okay, not I'll now not play, or maybe I'll simply write I cricket and then I'll say play. Okay. Now you don't know what I'm saying, right? If I'll say this to a child, I cricket play, they will not understand what it means, right? But Here, the system is going to understand the context of it, like plays word is there, and then cricket word is there, and then I word is there. So this means that cricket के साथ मैं कुछ करता हूँ, right? So I can play cricket, right? So this is what these systems are so intelligent that they can basically understand the context. Even if you type something wrong, or we call it as typos, right? Whenever we are like writing an email or something happens, we basically misspell or mistype something, right? Even if you do it, this is going to properly understand the context of it. So you can try that. You can try to make some mistakes on your own, but and then see what is the response that is generated. It would be exactly the same that you will get once you enter the correct value as well. So you can try these experiments. Okay. Then speech recognition and synthesis basically tries to convert spoken words into text. It can be speech to text or generating spoken output, basically text to speech. So there are different free tools that are available. Okay. Now there are different terms of these NLPs, like what are the techniques? Number one is rule-based approaches, where we define pre-linguistic rules to process language, and then the another one is basically understanding probabilities, and then machine learning models to analyze patterns, and then deep learning models. So yeah, like we can go into so much of detail. This is I'm sharing it in very brief. So this is lot. There are a lot of details that we cannot cover in one session. I'm just trying to cover as much as possible right now. Okay. Now jump. Any questions till now? We have been through 20 minutes now, 28 minutes now. Any questions till now? Okay, I know I'm not covering everything, but yeah, any questions till now for whatever we have covered? It has a lot of details, honestly speaking. Okay, so yeah, I'll take silence as no then. So basically now this fourth one is prompt engineering. So now someone in the starting mentioned that we have to write some prompt, right? This is what prompt engineering means. You are going to share, you are going to input something into the system, into these models, into these platforms. Then what is the response that you're going to out of it? This is known as prompt engineering. It is a practice of designing, refining, and structuring inputs to guide generative AI models to produce specific high quality and relevant outputs. Okay, it is a critical skill in maximizing the effectiveness and efficiency of AI tools. Okay, I'll tell you one quick example here. Okay, so why I'm talking about this prompt engineering. Okay, so I'm writing a vague prompt like I need social media content for my e-commerce business. We sell handmade dog collars. Okay, help me make Instagram post. So now tell me if this is a good prompt or a vague prompt. I'll paste this in the chat so that you guys can have a look at it and then tell me if it is a good prompt or a bad prompt, or not bad prompt, basically if it is a good one or not. Yep, I need social media content for my business, for my e-commerce business. We sell handmade dog collars. Help me make Instagram post. Now tell me if this is a good one. Like, what are you expecting out of it, out of this one? You can try parallelly on the chat GPT also. Okay, Bhavik said not good. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else wants to try or tell if it is a good prompt or it is a average prompt or it is not a good one? Like anything you guys can tell. Yeah, I have pasted this in the chat, so have a look at it and then tell me. Okay, not good. Priyanka says not good. Average. Okay, not good. Generic. Okay. Yeah, please try. Other people also try that. You can read this one and then save this one. Not clear what is needed. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, yeah, right, right. Yep. Any more tries? Make use of other chat GPT options available. So what does this mean, Sunita? Make use of other chat GPT options available. I'm not able to understand this one. Okay, okay, understood. Okay, got it, got it. Okay, okay. So now I will share another prompt similar to this one. Okay, now tell me if this is a good or a bad one. Okay, I'll share the same in the chat. Yeah. So I need to create social media contact calendar for the next 30 days. I post on Instagram. My business sells handmade dog collars. I will post 5 times per week. I want to strike a balance of posts where some are funny and engaging and others help promote and sell my products. Now, I will ask, you will need to help me with this as well as providing the full content calendar. First, you will ask me a question about my business and audience until you have enough information. Then you will provide me with the content calendar formatted in table. So you can read this prompt. Now tell me if this is a good prompt, very good prompt, or a best prompt, or average prompt, or bad prompt. Like five options, you can do anything. One is the best, five is the worst. Okay. One is the best and five is the worst prompt. So just give any number to it. Okay, Bhavik says two. Yeah, guys, please rate this prompt. Okay, Lakshmi says one. Yeah, please guys see this one prompt and try. Okay, Sia says two. Sahil says two. One because it allows ChatGPT to ask more questions. Okay, so, okay, Sudarshan PS says four. Okay, okay, that's interesting. Okay, Sudarshan, can you please tell me why it is a bad prompt?
No, I thought the four out of five was a good prompt.
Okay, 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 okay. Sorry, my bad. Okay, okay. Then you
Uh,
mentioned good one. Okay,
uh,
okay. Sahil,
uh,
Zia, and
I
Bhavik.
mentioned a good one.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Thank you, thank you. Yeah.
because
Okay.
it contains a lot of details
Yeah,
which it
yeah, yeah.
can process. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. No worries. Okay, thank you. Okay, and Sahil, Zia, and Bhavik, do you guys want to share what could have been added more into this prompt? Anything you want to add, like with this prompt misses? Any idea that you guys have why this is a not a one number? I'm just trying to understand. Okay, don't think it a different way. Just trying to understand why it is not a number one prompt.
The only thing which I see over here is that it's not missing.
Mm-hmm.
It's in too much detail.
Hmm.
I mean, s- so I mean, sometimes it could be in that way that uh, take a baby step and come to understand, and then you can
Hmm.
out of which you can have a follow up question, and then you can
Hmm.
get the answers.
Okay,
So
okay, okay. Your way of thinking is very correct. Now, I have one more question. Do you use paid version of ChatGPT or free version of any of these models? Do you use the free one or the paid one?
free one.
Okay. Now you use the free one, right? Do you know how many responses you can enter or how many questions you can ask ChatGPT to generate this content? What is the
I'm
maximum
not
number of?
sure. I'm not
Okay.
sure, but 8 to 10.
Okay, so 8 to 10 was in the previous before 4O mini. I in the latest one I've used it is 25 to 30 questions we can ask in one go, right? Now, if you are creating something, okay, basically you're trying to create one post right now, okay, and basically you have to do it at any cost, right? Then you might also have to use your free data for free responses, free inputs for some other work as well, right? So if you exhaust those for 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever is the time interval, then how you're going to utilize other work, right? So that is why we have to try to maximize our input into one prompt so that we can save those free inputs, right? We cannot waste our inputs because we are using the free model. That's why if you are using it the paid version, then we have a number of inputs that we can do, more than 100, I guess. I'm not sure about the exact number, but yeah, we can do that. But in case you are using the free version, you have to use it very wisely. That's why we have to enter as much as information in possible in that way, and that's why the prompt engineering comes into picture. Okay, yeah. Okay, if you guys have any thoughts, then please let me know. Definitely, it would be very good to discuss about this one. Okay, now what are the key elements of prompt engineering? Number one is clarity, basically ensuring the prompt clearly communicates the desired output. Vague prompts lead to vague results. So, like the example that I mentioned earlier, uh, okay, it was a vague, totally vague. Like you guys told me, okay, we don't have the clarity what we are asking, right? So that's why we have to ensure it is clear. Then the second number is context. We are going to provide the AI with enough background information to understand the request, whatever we are going to ask them. Okay. Then number three is specificity. Specificity. This means including details like format, tone, or content type. Okay, example, write a professional email or create a funny poem. We have to be very specific because we are using the free version of ChatGPT, Cloud, or Claude, Gemini, Copilot, whatever. We have to be very specific in our questions. Okay, then constraints. We need to we are going to setting some boundaries or rules like word limits or excluding certain topics. And then iterative refinement, testing and tweaking the prompt to achieve the desired outcome. For example, I input this detailed prompt, right? But I did not I did not get my desired outcome, right? Now I have to again see what detail did I miss or did I added something extra. Now in the given prompt, I could have not mentioned that the text captions will be in one column, a suggested image, a second. Okay, all these things I've ignored as well. Or maybe I could say the image prompt should include a description of the image we are prompting. So anything we can, like ignore in this one. Okay. Okay, now the main thing comes like how we can utilize AI in product management. So, first of all, I want to understand how many people are actually interested in transitioning to product management or how many guys are already working in product management. Please give me yes or no. If yes means you are interested or are already working, no means you are not interested or you're not like don't want to go into product management. Please type yes or no. Okay, Vishal says yes. Okay, okay. Yep, yep. Please. So we have 17 people. I need at least 15 yes or no. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 responses I've got till now. Please, like 7, 8 responses. I still need more, please, to understand. Okay, okay. P. Kumar says no. Okay, okay, okay. So now I'm going to discuss this one, like how we can utilize AI in product management. So if people who are not interested into this, they can basically drop and enjoy their weekend now. So now I'd be more discussing into this product management thing. Okay, now how we can use AI in product management. So this is one of the most hot topics these days right now. People are looking to transition to product management either as a AI PM or like like how they can utilize AI as a product management. Like they are already working PM, but they want to use AI now because AI is in very demand right now. Now, last year in the month of September or October, I created one application using ChatGPT's free responses. Okay, there was one tool that was launched earlier, which is the free tool is Cursor. Like you, if you follow, all these details very carefully on the internet, you might have heard about this tool. This is a no-code tool. Basically, you can generate any files. You don't have to write anything. You simply have to enter the prompt, and all your programming files will be created. I created one application. It was a Java application where we can scan anything and using our basically mobile phone, we can attach our mobile phone, and then based on that we can generate any response out of it. Like after scanning the image, it will basically understand what the image has. And then second thing what I did was I created one website online using this cursor v0 tool only. At the system, it was similar kind of project that I created was i I found a picture from Google. I basically cropped it out and then I built this website into just 5 seconds. Oh, sorry, 5 minutes only. I basically input that screenshot into that system where it was asking me to upload the image. The efficiency was not 100%. I can say that because it was a very quick thing that I did, but it basically told me that there is some car present in the picture. Okay, yes, Vishal, I will share that link also. Uh, so this is how you can start using these tools to, make the most out of them. If you are looking to transition into product management using AI, then you have to start creating your portfolio, which means you have to start creating these kind of small projects. Okay, I know it's very difficult, but if okay, let me try to show that also that you are saying. Yeah, let me see if I can still find that history of 6 months back in my chat GPT. Quickly give me 1 minute. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to find that. So it took me a couple of days to do that, but it was not 100% completed, but still I'll try to show that. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, it is. Okay. Yeah, I think I found the chat. So I'll quickly share my screen. Okay. Just for 1 second. Oops. Yeah, I'll hide the history. Okay, here is the zoom. Okay, entire screen. Let me know once the screen is visible. Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. So, like Bhavik mentioned this in like couple of minutes back that we can use this one. So I followed that same approach when I was initially started using ChatGPT in my earlier days. So I simply had put in this prompt because I had no idea how to create an app. It was my first try that I given. Okay, I saw. You can see this is from 2024 right now. I'm not done it. I can share you my history also quickly. Okay, so this is today, and then this is coming from basically previous times. Okay, I basically mentioned I've got these three files named global CS. Basically, these three was created from that basically tool online tool I found it, and then I simply told them. Then I started getting these responses. Okay, like this, like this. Okay, then I saw this basically file setup completely. So everything this tool can tell you, everything this tool can tell you, this will help you to create your portfolio. Then I asked him how I can integrate the LLM model with this app. Then told me these options. Okay, then I went on to doing this, then I did it. Some things, I was not a coder, so at some places I failed it too because I had no idea how to like use this kind of files example function. So I had no idea about this one. Okay, but I tried my best to basically start doing it. Okay, now where do I run this commands in point of setting a project? Basically, when I saw these results, everything they mentioned set up your project. Okay, so I had no clue how to do it. Then I downloaded all the tools that they have mentioned. Okay, shell scripting, everything I did. I still have those. Let me see. So basically what I'm trying to say is you can start creating your small projects. Once you start creating these projects, add them into your portfolio, and then you can showcase your portfolio in their resume. Okay, so this is how you can start showcasing your skills as a AI product manager. That you are interested in this AI field, you can do anything that is required to do, and based on this one, that you can create any kind of project application, and you have all the knowledge of this tool, or not this tool, basically all the knowledge of AI basically. Okay, so I had no idea what this LLM was, right? Okay, then I said, okay, you can see this one. I think there is some issue with this. I want you to do this analysis and tell me how I can fix the issues. Ask the question if you want before you complete the RCA. Okay, then it basically did everything that I asked. So I again shared the screenshot of this one. So basically, I had only had three or two different uh, free chances to upload the screenshot. So I did this everything step by step. Okay, so it took me a couple of days. Okay, the new error is coming. So coding is not that easy thing. That's why we can use this tool up to our full responsibility. Okay. And this is how you can make an edge over others to transition to product management. Now, transitioning to product management is not easy these days. Okay. See, there is a lot of competition. I recently appeared for a couple of interviews. I cracked one of them. Okay, I'll soon share on my LinkedIn in the upcoming days which company I have joined, and how did I clear my interview. So everything I'll share that. But the thing is, competition is so much these days that you have to do something extra to stand out of this. I don't have any portfolio right now with me. I don't have any project credit that is mentioned in my resume. Still, as I was an APM, I still got calls from senior product manager positions. Why? Because my ability to create customized resume and applications was top notch. That's why I got calls for senior product manager roles only with the less years of experience. I was just trying to test something because I know that I won't be shortlisted for senior PM role because I was already working at a associate product manager role. But still, I never gave up on anything. In my first year of job, I spent 1 year trying to understand how I can switch the job. It took me basically one complete year. At the time, these chat GPTs, nothing was present. I spent a lot of time learning on YouTube. I did a lot of stuff. I did not even got mentorship from anyone, but still I was able to clear those interviews. Why? Because I don't have this ability to give up. I always, try to बस जिस पीछे पड़ जाता हूँ वो मैं करके छोड़ता हूँ, दैट इज माई नेचर, ओके. So that's why I wanted to give it a try कि if I'm appearing as a associate product manager, will I be shortlisted for this role? Okay, I can quickly I'll quickly I'll quickly search the email and also show you as a proof so that you guys can see in front of you. I'll hide the recruiter's name also because of privacy reasons. Uh, so why I'm showing you this, because I want you guys to know that everything is possible with these tools if you use these tools very perfectly. Okay, what is the name? Okay. Okay, yeah, 1 second. Okay, I'll snip it. I'll also hide the company's name as well because of security reasons. Okay, this does not tells the senior PM name, so I will try to have to find another email. Yeah, 1 second, please. Okay, this one is more helpful. Okay, I will. Okay, this is the subject of that email. I'm going to paste this in the chat so that you guys can see. Where is the Zoom? Okay. Yeah, you guys see this one. Then I'm going to share the subject or the email body of this one. Okay, this is another one that you can see. Okay, this was the test link that I got for the senior product manager role. I'll share this screenshot in the chat also so that you guys can see that I'm not lying or bluffing anything. Okay, yeah. So as a associate product manager, I still got these calls of senior product manager, and this it did not happen from only one company. That happened from other as well. It was a startup, so I did not join that. Was my personal decision based on certain things that I've researched about it. So what I'm trying to say is that if you use these tools wisely and very carefully, you can do anything. You can crack any job, but you have to be very attentive when you're trying to use these tools, when you're trying to customize your applications or do anything. Okay, so again, these tools are very helpful. And if you are looking to transition into product management, okay, or you are already a product manager but want to go to higher level, then you have to use these tools very smartly so that you can get your application shortlisted, because resume shortlisting come with a lot of factors like ATS friendly. Okay, your basically your job duties, your way of writing the resume, so everything recruiter sees. Okay, I even got like one cold message that I remember that was out of my league. Out of my league means basically the offer that was given to me was 200 to 300% of my current salary. So you imagine? Okay, again there were some different things that did not got fully converted, but still the thing is my LinkedIn was also optimized using AI and also as a product manager role. Okay, so that founder saw something in me, right? And then there was like it was a not an earlier startup, but it was a good company, like medium a startup that they had 50 plus employees. Okay, and then they wanted a new product manager in India basically, and then I had cleared a couple of rounds in those interviews as well. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to be very smart when you're applying for the product manager role. It cannot happen that you woke up today and then you just applied for a role and then you got the shortlist. It will never happen like that. The market is very hot right now. Okay, people who are trying to switch jobs, they are getting that. I have also done that in these tough times even. Okay, I have like joined a new company. I will share that soon. So what I'm saying is try to whatever extent you can. Okay, don't need to give up if you are trying. Okay, it will happen that it will take couple of months. Okay, maybe couple of not years, but it will take couple of months, couple of weeks for you to start getting the calls. Okay, but the thing is try to do it, don't stop, use these tools wisely, and there are a lot of ways you can transition to product management. If you are already in that role, you want to go to the next level, then it will be again big challenge for you because there are already experienced people sitting at, you have to basically stand out from those applications. So there are different things that we can talk. Okay, so any questions people have, anything you want clarifications, anything? Either it
So,
was very boring. Yeah.
yeah, your LinkedIn profile, you can you paste
Oh,
the link?
yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, thanks for reminding. I'll share that in my chat.
And for people with, yeah, see now, for people with more experience, more than nearly 20 plus years of experience,
Hmm.
there is a stagnation, and then
Hmm.
the people with low experience get a little bit of faster movement.
Hmm.
So people with more experience have a little challenge because there are it's actually for senior roles, right?
Hmm.
So any from your experience, have you seen any person at a senior level moving out in an
So, okay, you're
from a
saying you have
delivery?
20, yeah, you have 20 plus years of experience and now you want to transition to PM role, right?
No, no, this is actually a delivery manager role. Yeah.
Yeah, from delivery manager, you want to go to the product manager role, is it?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, so, okay, I'll tell you the first thing is the very first problem you will face is basically your current package at 20 plus years. I'm not going to ask this one, but it would be like more than, let's say, I'm taking an example that it would be 50 plus, just taking an example, or maybe it would be 25 plus, okay, around that. Now you have to understand what companies can pay you that same package because obviously you cannot go down your ladder, right? You have to always go up in your ladder when you are,
Yes,
transitioning to
yes.
something, right? Or maybe go to the same place. Now, first of all, you have to identify if you're at a, very high level like 50 plus, then you have to basically try into companies like FANG companies, basically Google, Microsoft, or all these big companies where the bracket is actually high of a product manager, right? Now, if I talk about other companies, at that places it is little difficult because you have different certain criteria that whatever roles that you have done, you have to showcase that you are very much interested in that. And then second thing would be the role that you are doing, how it will be similar to the one that would be asked in the product management. So as a delivery manager, you basically would be doing good communication, you would be keeping your stakeholders in a line, right? And then you would be basically working with the uh, not you would not be basically working with very closely with engineering team, but still you might be having some communications, right? Then you have to showcase your skills that whenever I'm talking with engineering, I'm understanding their terms, okay? And then I have
Right,
basically work with the customer centric product. Basically, when you are launching anything, then you have to understand whatever problems came in my way, I basically thought of from the end user point of view that uh, let's say when something was deploying getting deployed into production, something happened, like end users were starting facing issues. Then I thought from the end user's standpoint of view, I gave some workaround so that we can quickly resolve the issue, and then meanwhile our company can fix that issue. So you have to
right,
start showcasing your skills like that, okay?
right.
And
Got
this,
it, got it.
yeah, your main challenge would be only around the salary package. What I understand is, okay, 20 plus is experience is very good, like you have a lot of experience, but I will suggest you that uh, first of all, try giving interviews in the startups, okay? Series A startup, series B startup, try to give that. And then also you can try in your same company. If that happens, they're open to take senior leaders into the product, because product manager is kind of a entry level to less than mid senior level role, right? People with uh,
Right, right.
experience like almost near 5 years, they basically then jump to the senior PM role after that. So 20 plus years is quite big than that. Okay, you would be working with those people. I mean, it can happen, it can definitely happen, but it's like you have to try, keep trying on that. Okay, try with
Yeah,
different startups, try in your current company, show interest. Okay, start working with different product managers, what are they are doing. Okay, then try to tailor your skills according to that, that you are transferable person. Okay, this is how
right.
it can
Okay.
happen.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks for
Yeah,
that input. Yeah.
no worries, no worries. So I'm pasting my LinkedIn here, so you guys can have that, and also sharing my WhatsApp group where you guys can join, and we can start having conversations. You guys can help each other. You guys can take my help also. You guys can do that. I'm sharing the WhatsApp group in the chat also. Yeah, and also let me stop the recording now. Yep, I'll answer now all these questions one by one.